Hello everyone and welcome back to another S-Series. This time, we're going to do something a little different. This is post-commentary, not live commentary. My microphone decided it wasn't going to randomly record, so here we are. Either way, right off the bat, we've got the dual Squelcher. Now this is a weapon that has been changed to the dually Squelcher, if you've kept up with how the game worked. So pretty much it is a mid-range NZAP, and the kit is the exact same as the NZAP in this game. You've got splat bombs and echo locator. Right off the bat here I'm being pretty aggressive and I get punished for it, but you're going to see later that I eventually go into a more passive playstyle and using my paint to its advantage. If you've ever played dually Squelchers, you'll know that it's not the best at killing. It does a pretty decent job because it has dodge rolls, but since we don't have dodge rolls here, it doesn't do that great of a job. Here I am trying to fight, I believe the, well, it's throwing suction bombs now. I don't remember what it was. I didn't know what it was whenever I was fighting it either. We died of the suction bomb there. I was trying to hide and get some health back, but it just didn't end up ever happening. Now they're pushing here. I'm just going to go try and just make sure we have some cover and pressure the tower too. I try and signal people because it feels like we have no one there. Thankfully our brawler's there, but he does eventually just die because there are too many people. My whole point of attacking the tower is that since there was a lot of their paint on our side of the map, I just thought I would attack the tower, and while attacking the tower, try and get some paint down too. I'm getting some just kind of free kills just because they're not paying attention to me, and I can just be annoying with some chip damage. You're not dealing a lot of damage, and there's also the constant stream of stealth jumps just coming in that you can't really figure out, so that's how I died there. And then once I get back in, I'm going to go ahead and jump on the tower, and I believe just go ahead and go for some paint. I'm going to probably try and pressure too. But just sitting on the tower and throwing bombs is our best bet here, because since we aren't aggressive, extremely aggressive, let me say it like that, we're not going to be able to do too much. I did go in the corner there and try and recover and figure out what I was going to do next, but the range blaster did see me fall down there and just kill me. Couldn't really do too much about that. My aim is pretty bad in this game, so it just didn't end up very well. I go ahead and go up to this ledge here, and I try to just help out with some more paint. Again, my main goal here in this first match is just making sure we get some paint down. I am being aggressive with it at the very least at a range, but I'm not being overly aggressive. That was over aggressive, and you get punished for that. You see the double blaster there. Eventually I'll learn that, I just need to take a step back, and if things get hairy, just stop doing it. Right now we're just kind of in neutral. I believe I try and push the tower here, but I go for quite a bit of paint. The Grim range is down there on the right, so I keep my eye on it. I pop my echo locator. That's a nice thing to have if you just need an ink refill or want to help out your team. The best way to play this weapon, I'd say, is helping out your teammates. If your teammates can really go for it, then do your best to use your main weapon and your sub weapon and your special weapon in tandem to help them out. You see I was painting for my blaster there, and I'm just trying to make sure this whole left corridor is in our color. I see that some people have died, so I back up with my friend. Friend has Zuka, so if he gets some kills, that's nice, but I decided to just stay back, because if I die there, then we have even less people helping. Now, I do take some chip damage from the bombs here, so I just kind of recover, but as you can see here, since I'm the only one pushed forward, I'm backing up. We've got our carbon there, but I don't really want to play with the carbon, because carbon's front line, I'm more of a mid-line, safe back line. I see the Luna there, I'm not taking it on. He can easily just poke at me from top of that ledge, so I just go ahead and make sure our left side is in our paint. And this is at the point where I hear burst bombs going off, and I figure out that the Grim range blaster is over off on the right here. So I just kind of shoot at him, make sure he can't really do too much, but he begins to attack me, so I back up. I can't take that fight on at range because he can kill me. So I'm just trying to stay there. I believe my friend just thought I wasn't doing anything, but I was checking him out. Just waiting to see if he was going to make a move or not. He didn't. So I go ahead and continue just trying to paint and do this stuff. We only have to defend here since we did take the lead, which is nice. The only thing we have to do is just make sure that they can't comfortably move into our base, and we can just kind of keep firing at them and just be able to move around them and kind of trick them up at points. I've got my echo locator again. I believe I'm saving it for a better opportunity. Probably will throw a bomb and then refresh it, or just pop it there. See the guy on the left from the echo locator and just start throwing bombs at him. Flush him out from that so we can just make sure we're not getting pelted with bombs from their side. I don't remember what that guy was. Now we're waiting up on the tower here because there's no point in pushing. I get on, but I just want to make sure we have it and no one can jump on and like somehow make a push from it. And I continue pushing here because there wasn't really much of an issue. The entire place was pretty much in our color, so didn't have to worry about too many blindsides or anything like that. Pretty good comeback at the middle of the match there, and I think, certainly worried we weren't going to win, but we actually got a pretty good push going there, and we won the first match. Alright, game number 2. Now, there are no charges on the other team, and we have one, which is nice, and it will come in very handy later, once a couple of things happen in the match. But right now, I'm doing the same thing I did last time, just making sure we have some paint on the map so we can move. I believe we have a blaster on our team. I don't remember, but I believe, from what I remember, this match was where we had some teammates that wanted some paint, so that's what I was trying to do. I was able to pick off the Dynamo there since he did just kind of jump into our paint, but I got a little too greedy and just moved into where the Octo Shot was. Again, we're not the aggressive weapon. We're really just trying to stay midline, backline, and just stay relative to where the enemies are at, because if we get blindsided, we're not going to be able to kill in time. We got the guy throwing the bombs on the left there. I believe that's the Splash-O-Matic. Either the Neo, I don't remember the kit, the Neo or the regular kit. But I just decided to paint over those bombs and then move over here to where the Dynamo is. But I see the Luna. Now, I shouldn't have jumped down, because jumping down put me right in his sights. If I would have tried to climb up there, I would have been able to maneuver around a little bit better. But since I did jump down, I was just easily picked off. So we're immediately starting now in the back foot. I just go ahead and try and make sure this corridor is on our color. We've got the shot here, the 10 attack. I think it's an Octo Shot, but he goes ahead and starts to shoot off his Zuka. I don't want to get randomly shot by that, so I just kind of stay behind the wall and recover some ink. We're losing the lead and stuff here, but I can't really do too much, so I'm just trying to paint as I pressure this guy so he can't move forward. They did throw another bomb rush, I believe, so there's just quite a bit more paint over here. My main goal is just definitely trying to make sure we can keep our paint and make sure they can't push in. I mean, that's kind of the goal. Got the Dynamo over here, and there's a guy behind me now, I see, and the Octo Shot does get me. Didn't know where he was at until I popped Echolocator, and by the time I figured it out, it was too late. Our blaster friend is now sitting on the spawn goal, and if you look, you will see that there's an X over the spawn. That means he disconnected. So, we're in a 3v4 now. Not looking very likely for us to win, but I go ahead and continue. Again, the main point, we're just making sure we have space to move. I mean, that's the best thing this thing can do. It has about the fire rate of a splatter shot, and the paint isn't too bad on it. For a shooter in Splatoon 1, the paint isn't, you know, too terrible. Shooters paint a lot better in 2 and 3, but they're not too bad in this game. Right now, I'm just trying to use this as cover. I'm really looking for a chance to push. I'm throwing bombs down in case someone randomly just appears, though probably not the smartest. I could have saved that and threw it at someone, and then I do die to the Dynamo. We've got our paint on the right side of the map, so I'm going ahead and moving to the left side, and I'm just going to go ahead and try and work. Thankfully, our friends are still pushing it constantly. We've got the Dynamo there, and my Charger, there's where he's coming in handy. He got a pretty clean snipe from the fall. That was very nice and allowed me to take out the splatter shot there. And then we go ahead and actually start pushing here. This is a pretty good point where I can actually start being aggressive and taking some kills. You don't normally have to do this, but since we do have a disconnect, we'll have to do this. I'm waiting right here. I'm going ahead and popping my Echolocator so I can throw a bomb at the Dynamo over there and just keep him back off. I'm still keeping an eye on where his location is. Thankfully, that Echolocator helps with that, and I can make sure he's not just trying to flank us. I'm really just making sure that he can't appear. We got the lead, so the only thing we have to do now is just defend it, so that's nice. Again, I'm just trying to make sure that we're not being blindsided. The worst thing that can happen now is that we all just wipe at once. I died of the strike there. That was from the Dynamo. I was pressuring him, so he got his strike and then just threw it up on the tower to get me off. It did kill me. Alright, this is where they begin pushing. I just don't have the range to pressure that, and I should have just waited. I think it would have been better to go ahead and paint off to the left side, but it's also important to keep pressure on the objective and make sure they can't take it for free. Take some damage from the suction bomb, so I have to play a little passively here, but I was able to take out, I believe, the shot, and they were not able to continue that push. I believe they're fixing to try again, but I'm going ahead and jumping on and pushing it back to mid. Now we've got the shot down here. I throw my bomb down there. He takes some chip damage from the bomb, and I can finish him off with a couple of shots from my main weapon. We've got the gold dynamo here. Easily pick him off. I believe he didn't have any ink. I can't really see from this perspective, but he couldn't really move very much. So that was an easy pick from there too. Now our teammates are just kind of keeping the tower pushed in our direction, or I guess technically their direction, but we're not committing to a push. If we did that, we would get a little too close. As you can see the dynamo there from behind, we could have easily been just kind of cornered. So thankfully they weren't pushing too much. They were just kind of keeping it mid, but also not just leaving it completely alone. We were able to actually get a 3v4 there, and that was pretty nice. I mean, I didn't really have much hope for it, but we got through it. So I'll see you in the next match. Alright, time for match number 3. Now this match, we don't have a charger and they do. I've stated it before, I really do not like fighting chargers in this game. It's just not fun. They deny such a large amount of space, which thankfully the maps aren't too bad, so you can flank somewhat. But if they know what they're doing, which chances are in Splatoon 1 they know what they're doing since they've been playing for so long, there's not really too much you can do. Thankfully, it's not one of those matches. I pivot around the tower here and just try and take out this one guy. I don't remember his weapon, but I do eventually die to his friend who was, I think, spying on the match. Our ink strike goes around the tower there, and we get a killer whale. And I'll go ahead and just jump in on the right here. There is some paint needed to be put down, so I'll go ahead and do that. But I do see the charger, so I kind of just play behind cover here and just get some paint down. I'm trying to go for my echolocator here, but as we'll see in a bit, it's just kind of becoming hard. I get 2 shots on that one guy. He throws a splat bomb at me, so I kind of have to back up. But also need the charger and just really don't want to pressure him too much. Take some damage from the rapid blaster there and eventually get killed by him. I don't remember if I was trying to climb that or not, but I did get killed, so it really didn't matter in the end. It's kind of a neutral game right now. We're just kind of throwing specials out and seeing which team gets the initiative first. The strike didn't really do too much. I'm just using it as special fodder. And they are pushing, but this is a very easy thing to just stop since all 4 of us are just at a perfect point to just stop it. I'm waiting here, see the charger line, and then here's this blaster. Since he is a rapid blaster, I can easily take him out since he was just kind of confused, and if you take them out at closer ranges or take them on at closer ranges, it's harder for them to fight. I rolled the bomb. It didn't really do too much because it ran into the grates, but I was able to kill him. Pop my echolocator here, try and figure out where they're at. The charger is that one in the center, while I believe, yes, the Grim Range is on the left, and I have no idea who's on the far right. But I take 2 of them out. I take out the charger there, so we get a pretty clean push here. At this point, I'm being aggressive. I really have no point to be passive. We have half of our team up, so I probably do have somewhat of a point. But remember, we're staggering our kills, so they have less people active at most times. There will be some downtime here where they do all just respawn in, but as I'm just keeping distraction, which was kind of the point of me just moving in and attacking them and throwing bombs, we do just kind of easily take the KO without much issue. You see the tower there is just kind of covered in their ink and with a little splotch of ours. I'm assuming that's because they were trying to aim, but that little pole just kind of helps out and tanks some damage for us. And we get the win. Alright, so there's a few post-commentary games. Let me know if you like that. I definitely need practice in it because I was just kind of all over the place. I had things I wanted to say, but they never just came out because I just didn't have enough time to say them. Either way, I still do have mouth pain, so yes, if I was slurring my words or my mouth was just, you know, sounded like it was full of something, that's just because I've been having swelling and stuff in my mouth and it's making it hard to talk, and the pain is also making it where I have to hold it weird. But once again, you're not here for that. These games aren't too bad. We didn't, you know, have too many issues with it. The gear here is still quick respawn and stealth jump. That's just, I mean, that's very consistent. It's allowing me to come back in pretty quickly. And I believe I have special duration up, which I guess is nice for echolocator, and some damage up, which I do believe helps somewhat with dual Squelcher. I don't hate the weapon at all. It's definitely fun. I think it's different enough from dual Squelchers where I wouldn't mind it to be reintroduced. At the same time, I do believe dual Squelchers outclasses it enough just because it's pretty much the same weapon. Only thing dual Squelchers have that are worse is the fact that its ink consumption is pretty high with the dodge rolls, and its accuracy is pretty horrible in a neutral state. This weapon is nice because you can just jump around and do quite a bit of more nimble stuff that isn't dodge rolling. While the dually Squelchers, you just kind of have to dodge roll with them. You can jump with them, but your jumping has to be pretty rigid just due to how dodge rolls work in the game. Either way, hope you enjoyed. Please consider leaving a comment below and consider subscribing. Until next time, bye.